Well, it's a test in a Unitarian Universalist context when you announce in advance, without apologies, that you're going to be centering a biblical reading to see who shows up. I take it as a huge honor and sign of trust and openness that you all are here for this service where we're talking about story, and the story I want to talk about is one from the Gospel according to John. Chapter 2, verse 1 through 11. So let me share it with you. It's the story of the wedding of Cana. The version I'll tell is drawn largely from the New International Translation. And it begins on the third day after a previous event when a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother, the story tells us, was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. And when the wine was gone, his mother turned to him and said, "They have no more wine." And Jesus said, well, there was a version that my husband heard growing up as a Catholic where Jesus says, "Woman, why do you harass me? My time has not yet come." Which my husband would say regularly to his mother. And when she went to slap him, he would say, "I'm just quoting the Bible." This version says, "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My hour has not yet come." His mother turned to the servants and said, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind that were used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each able to hold from 20 to 30 gallons. And Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And so they filled them to the brim. And then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best until now." What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory. And his disciples believed in him. Here ends our reading.